Dr. Mario. This is one of Nintendo's best flagship puzzle series, right up there with Puzzle League. The good old Doctor has seen a lot of popularity since his debut in the classic Nintendo Entertainment System. There are spin-off series and some portable editions of the main game, which I find is very convenient for a puzzle game, a genre made for travel purposes. Dr. Mario is so popular, he's even a playable character in the Super Smash Bros. Games. That is crazy. This series is currently going on as we speak, with the most recent game being Miracle Cure for the Nintendo 3DS, and the most recent home console edition being Dr. Luigi. I even have an amiibo of Dr. Mario. Look at how cool this is. Let's begin with Dr. Mario on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This was the first game in the series. There is also an edition of this on the Game Boy, which makes more sense, because puzzle games are what you play when you're on the road. When you start up the game, you can choose the starting virus level, speed, and even music. The choices for music are either Fever or Chill. Fever seems to be the most popular choice in Dr. Mario. It does not matter who plays. Gameplay is basic. To get rid of the virus pieces, you match up 4 pills of the same color, and they disappear. You can do combos and chains, but with my gameplay skill, it usually takes too long, so you can imagine that I am not good at Dr. Mario when it comes to that. The main goal of the game is to clear all of the viruses inside this bottle until there are no more. There are 3 different colors of virus, red, blue, and yellow. Like any other puzzle game, the farther you get, the harder it gets. If you can beat every 5th level in medium speed, you can get a cool animation to congratulate you on your victory. If you play the game on each of the 3 different speeds, the color of the background changes. Nothing too interesting, but I just thought I would point it out. Since I have no more to say about this game, let's take a look at some of the later adaptations of Dr. Mario. What happens when you mix Tetris, Dr. Mario, and a Super Nintendo together? Let's find out. This is Tetris and Dr. Mario on the Super Nintendo. This is pretty much what the title says. Tetris and Dr. Mario both on one game. This is worth the value by itself. The graphics are a big step up. Either game you play, the graphics look really good for 16-bit. Tetris is just Tetris, but on a 16-bit console. This was probably the first rendition of Tetris on a console that came out after the Game Boy and NES. Now let's get to Dr. Mario. Gameplay is pretty much the same as the NES one we just looked at. Nothing much else to see here. When you get a high enough score in either game, you can either get a cool animation of a Tetramino brick, or a creepy still of a Dr. Mario virus. Enjoy your night terrors for the night. Both games, however, have a new versus computer mode. Don't have any friends? That's okay, because you can challenge any of the computer players that range from easy to hard. When you clear lines of viruses in either versus game, you can drop or raise garbage on your opponent. I had a bit more difficulty on Dr. Mario though. I am still not used to doing less combos, because like I said, I take too long and I put too much effort into it. The game cartridge also happens to have a third game, Mixed Match. The game this goes is similar to the Nintendo World Championships. You play 3 different game modes within a specified amount of time, and when the time runs out, the high score between both players is compared, and the player with the highest score wins. If you are wondering why the second player has not been doing anything, unfortunately, this is the 2-player only game. Since these are the only 3 games on the game cartridge, I'm moving on to, in my opinion, the best Dr. Mario game at the time. Here it is, Dr. Mario for the Nintendo 64. Now, I am very excited to show you this one. This is my favorite Dr. Mario game to this day. The title screen pretty much shows what you are in for. The graphics being shown are very similar to the Paper Mario series of games, except the characters are surrounded by what looks like cardboard outlines. I'm going to be going through all the game modes one at a time here, because as you can see, there is a lot of variety with this one. First up is the classic mode. Gameplay is, you guessed it, the same. One difference you can see with this is that there are 2 new music tracks made for this game, Cube and QQ. QQ is the one that I chose most of the time, because it is a catchy tune that seems to fit with visuals of pills dropping down into a bottle. The next game mode that we have here is the story mode. You can choose between two characters, Dr. Mario and Wario. This mode follows a story. Dr. Mario has a special cure-all medicine called Mega Vitamins. A mad scientist steals them, and Mario has to get them back. Here you challenge each enemy one at a time, until you can get to the end of the game. One thing you will notice is that pretty much all the enemies are from the Wario Land games. So it kind of explains why Wario is in this game, because according to this game, it exists in the same universe as the Wario Land series. The final boss is Rudy, also from Wario Land, to be specific, the third one. Since the story mode is finished, we'll move on to the next mode of this game. Versus Computer. You fight the computer one-on-one until one player can get 3 wins. Whichever character you select, each one has their own difficulty level. Flash mode is the same as the Versus Computer mode. The only difference is that instead of clearing all the viruses before your opponent does, you have to only clear the flashing viruses before your opponent does. Marathon mode has you by yourself trying to clear viruses before the viruses rise to the top. If they go too high, the game is over. This is a good challenging game mode so far. Score Attack is where you have to get the highest score possible before the timer runs out. The multiplayer option has a very interesting game mode, specifically in this version of Dr. Mario. Here we have the 4-player versus. Now this is what you call some multiplayer fun and excitement. You can either plug in 3 more N64 controllers, or fight 3 computers at the same time. This is seriously so much fun. Why hasn't this concept been revisited yet? Especially since most games today have online multiplayer. This should be released on Virtual Console, with added online features. This is the best edition of Dr. Mario to this day. With so many gameplay varieties and characters to choose from, I cannot see where you can go wrong. There are some unlockable characters, but I have not gotten them yet. The last 2 are supposed to be Metal Mario and Vampire Wario. Anyways, if you haven't picked up any Dr. Mario games yet, this is the one I highly recommend. There are other Dr. Mario games in existence out there, but if I were to review all of them, this video would take forever. As for the series itself, it may seem kinda silly to have Mario portrayed as a doctor in a puzzle game, but in the long run, it turned out to be more than most would expect from a plumber practicing medicine. Dr. Mario is fun and simple puzzle action. If you like puzzle games like Tetris, then I'm sure you enjoy this. It does play a bit like Tetris, but a little bit differently. Out of all the Dr. Mario games that I own, the one on Nintendo 64 is still gonna be my favorite for a long time. So, thank you for watching, and I will see everyone later.